How strategic is outsourcing to any enterprise for that matter? What exactly is it all about?
Okay, outsourcing is a business model. It's a new system, business model that allows a company farm out or take out part of its processes and give that out to another company who has competence or core area in that field to handle for them, and then in return you pay some kind of consideration.
Now, when you say the company is farming out or giving away part of its processes, its operations, and all that, who determines what the company gives away? What influences the decision of that company to give part of its processes away?
Well, every company can divide its activities into the core or non-core. Okay, so it is assumed that you farm out your non-core activities while you concentrate on your core areas.
Let's give us an example, for instance, with some of the companies you have dealt with. Let's be practical. So let Nigerians begin to think.
Okay, so basically, let's look at a typical BPO. We've done driving process or driving service for a particular company for about 10 years now. And if you look at that company is in the banking sector. Their core business is not banking. I mean, it's not driving. The core business is driving. I mean, it's banking. So it makes sense to farm out that driving process to another company who has competence in that area. So that allows you to save time, save cost, and concentrate on
the business
at hand.
Now, but Nigeria has a very peculiar situation. They call it the Nigerian factor, where private enterprise is almost virtually a family heirloom. I mean, it's like the family owns it, lock, stock, and barrel. They don't want to share it. So how have you been able to convince people to give out some of these things?
Outsourcing is gaining ground. It started over 40 years globally, but here in Nigeria is since about 25 years. And it's gaining ground. People are beginning to learn more and more about it and understand the way it works, the concept of outsourcing. Yes, before now, as you said, it used to be a totalitarian kind of mentality,
yes,
where you want to own your your raw materials, you want to harness them, you want to own the supply chain, you want to also own the distribution channels and all of that. But people began to realize that bureaucracies in the system, decisions were slow, businesses were not fast and quick enough. So people began to change their mentality around the way we run business. So that is what gave rise to outsourcing globally. People realized that if I could just concentrate on my core area and allow another person and do a bit of the activities, I think it will go a long way. I'll be more lean, I'll be more quick, and I'll be able to take decisions that matter, that concerns my business faster.
Now, the way you have said is so sweet, but I'm still a little bit wary of our own disposition to new things. So, what is the profile of your kind of patrons now? Who have you been able to convince? Are you largely working with the private sector, or do you have any incursion into the public sphere?
Well, definitely, like any other new thing, you would expect that the private sector will be the first set of people to buy into it, and that has been the case in outsourcing. We've been practicing outsourcing in the private sector since close to 20 years. Well, we've done one or two things for the government agencies too, but I believe we can do more. The government agencies need to embrace the concept more, because that will allow you focus more on governance without bogging yourself down with the unnecessary activities that some of them get engaged in.
Now, I like the way you have said that. So I would like to look for an example. I will use NTA, which is our studio here. Now, so what would you like us to outsource, for instance?
Well, for instance, if you look at the BPO space, cleaning services, look at driving services, look at even some companies have outsourced engineering. Depending, it is reported that Nike, the fashion designer, that the only thing they own is that logo. Almost every other thing is outsourced.
Come from outside.
Every other thing, the clothes themselves, almost
sewing.
everything, the sewing, the distribution channel, everything is outsourced. So almost everything can be outsourced. There must be something that is core to your organization. So we advocate that you keep that inside while you outsource every other thing.
So, okay, now what you do actually is to work with businesses or to work with enterprises. So they have their brand that they want to promote.
Yeah.
It is that brand that you help them to support, to promote.
Yes, we see ourselves as a business support solutions company. Whatever it is your organization is set up to achieve, we look at the logistics, we look at the competencies, we look at the capabilities that are required to achieve those goals. And some of those are what we provide to help you achieve your set objectives. So it might be in the area of human resource, it might be in the area of logistics, it might be in the area of vehicle, it might be in any area at all, as long as it will help you achieve your objective faster. That's what we do.
All right. Kayode is here. He's not going anywhere because I won't let him go away. I want to go into business. I may need to borrow his brain and see how far and how quickly, how nimble I can get into business. So stay with